social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
Hey, grace and peace, everybody. We are back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. You know what we're about to do. We're going to get into the second part of my Black Fatigue, the actual book, Black Fatigue review. So I read chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7. Previously, I did chapters 1, 2, and 3, and I'll leave the link probably up here somewhere. Maybe I'm gonna try to do that. Be cool. I'll probably put it in the description or pinned comment too. So thanks. Anyway, I'm just gonna give a quick summary of chapters 4 through 7. And at the current moment, I'm not impressed with this book at all. It comes with a faulty premise that racism, and she's using the very general sense of the word racism, the new modern term of racism, negatively impacts generationally, which I don't see anything in scripture that teaches that. And I don't think science really supports her argument that something could have happened to your great grandparents that you will be dealing with now. That doesn't make sense. And being the fact that not every Black person was a slave and not every white person was a slave owner, it does lend itself to just being like, and for lack of a better term, a pseudoscience. So, okay, chapter 4, she talks about structural racism in education and employment. Something I think, and again, I haven't found if this woman really makes a profession to be a Christian, because a lot of these things, you're saying that she's taking the responsibility off of the people for doing sinful things. So I, as Jason, am a sinner. My house is not a structured sin fest. It's just the fact it's got sinners in it. Me and my family, we're sinners. We do sinful things. So it's not the house, it's the people that are doing it. So here Winter delves into what she calls how systematic racism permeates educational institutions and workplaces. She highlights the schools of predominantly Black neighborhoods often suffer from underfunding and lack of resources, leading to disparities in academic achievements. And I'm gonna stop right there. That's a whole bunch of garbage. No, that's a whole bunch of garbage. The problem is we don't have accountability. And in this book, there's just a fine line of not holding anybody accountable. This book is allergic to accountability and self-responsibility. Let's continue. In the workplace, Black professionals frequently encounter implicit biases during the hiring process and face obstacles to career advancement, including unequal pay and limited access to mentorship opportunities. These systems issues contribute to ongoing cycle of Black fatigue. And again, she's using Black fatigue in the sense that Black people are tired of white people. I'm using it as we're tired of Black culture, and that's how I use it. But let's continue. She doesn't give any real structure. You can say these things. It sounds really nefarious when you say that there's unequal pay for Black people or limited access to mentorships, but she doesn't give anything really foundational to say, oh, that's a glaring example right there. Tom got paid more than Tyrone, and they both have the same education, they have the same experiences, doing the same job. That's bad. Now, why is that? But nothing of that nature is just thrown out there. Let's go to chapter 5. The social and cultural dimensions of Black fatigue. This chapter explores the psychological burden imposed by racial stereotypes, cultural appropriation, and social exertion. Winters discuss how microaggressions and the constant need to navigate predominantly white spaces contributes to the cumulative sense of exhaustion among Black individuals. She emphasizes that these social and cultural stressors are significant contributors to Black fatigue. You know what? If you were an Indian person and you moved to Ghana, you'd have the exact same experience. If you were from Seoul, Korea, and you moved to Germany, you'd have the exact same experience. This is not something new. You're in a culture, you're in a society, I apologize, that is predominantly one people group or more of one particular people group, you're going to have those kind of back and forth where you're learning and interacting and bumping heads and bumping cultures. I mean, it's not really surprising. It's almost childish to believe that everybody who's white is going to behave the way that a Black person would expect when the majority of people are white. That doesn't even make sense. And that was part of my issue with the book as well. Let's continue. Chapter 6, the unique fatigue of Black women. I actually would like some Black women to read chapter 6. I would love to hear their thoughts on chapter 6. I don't know if I'll do like a woman's panel or something, but I would love to hear what Black women or women of color, women in general, think about this. Let me say why. Winters focuses on the specific challenges of Black women who often contend with both racial and gender bias discriminations. She discusses how Black women are frequently subjected to stereotypes that portray them as overly aggressive and emotionally strong, leading to their concerns being dismissed or overlooked. The intersectional discrimination exacerbates the physical and emotional toll on Black women, contributing to their unique experiences of Black fatigue. She makes no effort to explain our our cultural problem that most of our children are raised without a father in the home. She makes no attempt to bring that into the narrative because that would be accountability. That would be self-responsibility. That would be taking ownership for the problem and dealing with the fact that 80% of our kids are born out of wedlock and raised by their mothers. Like, yeah, it probably is a stressor. It probably is. They probably are aggressive and overly emotional. Sure. Why? Because we don't have fathers in the homes to run these ships and help them work with them and then work with them to grow a family. Chapter 7, unique fatigue of Black men. In this chapter, Winter discusses or addresses the distinct experiences of Black men who are often perceived as threats due to their pervasive stereotypes. She highlights how the prescription leads to an increase in surveillance, racial profiling, encounters with law enforcement contributing to chronic stress and health issues. Winter underscores that these experiences are central to understanding the specific manifestations of Black fatigue among Black men. And again, y'all know where I'm about to go. There's absolutely no accountability. There's no proper diagnosis of the problem. There's no proper look back and say, hey, this is why we have this problem. Maybe we should do something within our group to resolve this issue because the problem is spreading out. And maybe we need to work on that. Maybe that's part of the problem. Reason why she's treating it like when our grandparents were coming up and they had a two-parent home and little Ray Ray nowadays is 3 generations of no men in the home, that there's no problem. There's not going to be any kind of issue with that. Let's wrap it up. Here's the takeaways. Now, these chapters, they do attempt to deepen the understanding of the systematic racism that she perceives and how Black individuals are affected differently in different social contexts and with different identities. Now, by examining the social and the structural whatever's that she's talking about for Black fatigue, she's imposing this idea that everybody is exhausted by the exact same rhetoric, the exact same issues, the exact same experiences, which I don't think is real. I don't think that that's realistic to say that everybody, like just in your family alone, does everybody in your family get tired and are wore out by the exact same thing? No, no, it just doesn't work like that. So this idea is kind of silly, but let's continue. Um, she also talks about the unique experiences of men and women. I don't think that she gives experiences, but not the experience, the reason for it. She just gives an example. So she's akin to saying, here's a cup, but not giving you any details about what's in it, how it got here, what's the size of it, or anything of that nature. She's just saying it's a cup. Well, yeah, there's an experience. Great. Um, she tries to provide a comprehensive view on racism, but again, she's missing the main point that most of this is a cultural issue. It's not a skin color, it is a culture problem. So we don't have a race problem, we have a problem with a race, or we have a problem with a culture more specifically. And get into that. She doesn't want to really address that. And she lumps everybody into that issue. And I don't think that that's fair at all. So we'll be doing this again. I do appreciate y'all rocking with me. Thank you so much for checking it out. Let me know what you think. If you read the book, let me know. We're going to, actually, I'm almost close to done. Yeah. Yeah. This didn't take as long as I thought it was going to be to read it. So yeah, I got like 3 more chapters. No, 2 more chapters. There we go. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna be done with this. Oh, we're gonna put this thing. All right. So it's back there, but we'll be finished with it real soon. Next one we'll do chapters 8, 9, and 10. There we go. We're done. Everybody, thank you so much for rocking with me. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Give me your feedback. Give me your thoughts. If you've read the book, if you've heard articles about it, maybe she's done a lecture or whatnot. Let me know. Shoot me an email. I really appreciate it. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. See you soon.